I just want to be clear with you. It's okay for a man to go into the women's section, show his penis around the other women, young little girls underage. Your spa, we spa, condone that. Is that what you're saying? Like I asked. It's so he could stay there. He could stay there. What sexual orientation? I see. It lets me know he's a man.
So Obama sent this letter telling the school districts of America that if you don't want to lose your special ed money, and if you don't want to lose your JROTC money, and if you don't want to lose your No Child Left Behind money, and if you don't want to lose your Title I money, you must allow transgendered children. This is 2 weeks ago. This is new news. You must let transgender students use the bathroom of the gender with which they identify. This is what's going on now. So by the new year in New York City, you're going to have a situation where a boy can go into your daughter's bathroom because he's in the process of changing his gender. You're going to have a situation where girls can go into the boy's bathroom because she's in the process of changing her gender. Now, here's my issue with this. I'm an educator. I'm a school principal. The schools are out of control enough as it is. There's no law and order in the high schools anyway. So how do you add further confusion? By now removing the sign off the door that says girl and the sign off the door that says boy, and replace it with a sign that looks half boy and half girl, which basically says do as you please. Well, guess what, black folks? This is your fault more than Obama's. Because it was we who championed him and his election and stayed loyal even when he did nothing after the Trayvon Martin verdict. Stayed loyal when he refused to do anything about the systematic police extermination of black folks. You stayed loyal. Somebody said we must protect him because he looks like us. Bill Cosby looked like your ass too. But you ain't rushing to help Bill. You let the bourgeoisie manipulate you and your loyalty into defending Negroes who are pro-status quo. Eight years ago, the white man said, we got to find a way to push homosexuality, and we need to find a way to push the whole LGBT program in the black community to reduce their numbers and brainwash their children. But we have to do it in a way that they would accept. See, they have think tanks. The white man got think tanks. Where they sit around and strategize, how do we push this on black folks? Because they said black people are largely not a homosexual people. Yeah, they've always had their gays in their family, but they know to stay in their damn place and keep that stuff out the view of the family. Am I wrong? Okay? We've had aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters, but they know you don't come out with that. We understand. But that shit don't see the light of day in this house. Right? That was the code. We used to have a code. So they said, how are we going to get black people to accept wholesale, out in the open, unrestricted homosexuality, unrestricted lesbianism, unrestricted bisexuality and transgenderism when this is not who they are? How are we going to do this? These people are not for that. The black church is not for it. They said, here's what we're going to do. George Bush's second term, We're going to ignore the Constitution that says separation of church and state. And we're going to allow the black church to start receiving federal grant dollars. And once the black church starts receiving shut up money from the government, they will shut up. That's preparation. Then we're going to put Obama in office because Negroes have a self-esteem deficit, so that whenever they see somebody who looks like them, they stop analyzing their agenda and they stay focused on their skin tone. So while black folks are celebrating Obama, paying no attention to his policy, we're going to push the lgbt culture on the black community under the disguise of a black president who's really carrying out a gay agenda. And so the past 8 years, most of you have changed your position on LGBTism purely off of the basis of Obama's influence. Now, let me tell you what's interesting about Obama. His first term of office, he said very clearly at the podium, I believe marriage is between a man and a woman. If you don't believe me, it's on YouTube. Marriage is between a man and a woman. I will not consent to marriage being between anything other. This is Obama running for president, first term. Second term, he becomes the first president in American history to approve same-sex marriage. One was a setup, the other was a takeover. Obama was not put in office to be a reparation to you. He was not put in office because America is post-racial. Obama was put in office to do one thing and one thing only: get you to accept the LGBT takeover of the black civil rights movement. Are you aware that homosexuals have gotten more rights in 4 years than you've gotten in 400 years? Are you aware? And if you LGBT, I'm not beating up on you. I'm doing an analysis. I don't hate our LGBT brothers and sisters. I don't. I'm a therapist. I know how most of them come to that lifestyle. And it's because we don't know how to choose our babysitters very well. Most homosexual men were touched. Most lesbian women were molested. And you do know black women have the highest molestation rate in the Western world. So I can't beat up on the victim. I got to beat up on the system that brings forth dysfunctional behavior. And I don't spend all day dealing with homosexuality because we got a lot of dysfunctional behaviors. That's just one of them. That's just one of them. So whoever comes in office next, you better get ready to boogie because it's going to get worse. But before Obama leaves, he's going to make sure this homosexual thing is thoroughly implanted in your ghetto. Thoroughly implanted. The transgender bathroom thing, which is a disgrace, that's just the first of many that's coming before he walks out of there. He got to finish the job for which he was selected. So that's Obama.